Last weekend was the 65th anniversary of the first ever motorcycle racing Grand Prix held on the Isle of Man. But here in Catalunya, it was 3 Spaniards and 1 Italian that certainly celebrated the occasion in style. From the sunny beaches of Barcelona to the somewhat moody weather here in Montmeló, this is After the Flag.
Yeah? Okay, let's go.
Extremely difficult if you don't have...
Well, some people might be working up at the circuit, but we're not, are we? We're enjoying the afternoon on the beach. Paul here's just been engaging in some fascinating beach volleyball. How did it go?
Not bad, not bad. Always to be here with the sun on the beach, with people in Barcelona. That's cool.
Were you on the winning team, actually? Or were you on the losing?
Yeah, for sure. We won.
Yeah,
we won, really.
Right, let's talk about motorbikes then, because it's probably a bit more interesting. Qatar pre-season testing broke the collarbone. That wasn't such a good moment. But then, since then, you've been on the front row at Le Mans, top 5 in the last 2 races. So how's things evolving for you? Much more confident now, I guess.
Yeah, looks we are a little bit better, but still a lot to improve. We know that, okay, we improved a lot with the bike, with the pace with the bike, and with the rhythm. That was the main problem doing all races, because at the beginning with the full tank, we was not really bad, and with the new tires we was good. Yeah. But after when the tires drop a little bit, it was really difficult to follow the good riders and the style. It's just try to pick up the bike. It's very difficult. So yeah, it looks like we are learning it, and the test in Jerez we did after Jerez, it was really nice.
Now, I understand you might be trying to introduce more of a Moto2 riding style. So first of all, if you can just explain to people at home who might not know, what is the difference between MotoGP and Moto2 riding style, and have you tried it yet?
Yeah, okay. With Yamaha, it's not easy to make the Moto2 riding style, because Moto2 riding style, it's moving and it's like fighting. And I think with the Yamaha, you have to dance, not to fight. Yeah. So maybe with the Honda, it's more on the way of Moto2. You can brake hard and stop at the bike inside the corner. But with the Yamaha, I think it doesn't work. So you have to keep a good speed inside the corner, and it's impossible to do it with a Moto2, because actually when you try it, you have a lot of chattering inside the corner. So yeah, the riding style between Yamaha and Moto2, it's really different.
How much do you actually learn from following someone like Jorge or Valentino on a Yamaha?
A lot, yeah, a lot. Actually, you understand so fast how to ride the bike, and you are following them, and you feel that the lap time comes easier, comes faster, and everything looks like easier. And you stop on the pit box and you said, what I did different? I don't understand, and you are 1 second faster. So, okay, you try to copy the style. So when you are following some Valentino or Jorge, it comes so easy, and you can understand. And when you stop on the pit box, you said, hey, I did everything same, but I'm 1 second faster. And when you check on the data, it's everything different.
And one more thing, the future. And you can be honest now, this is after the flag. You don't have to, it's not a press conference.
Good, right?
If Valentino signs for 2 more years, Jorge signs for 2 more years, which looks quite likely, doesn't it now?
Yeah, looks.
What happens then? Are you happy to be with Tech 3 for another 2 years? You're not unhappy, I guess, are you?
Yeah, and I can be unhappy, because I know that I'm in one of the best teams in the world. That Tech 3, they are amazing. They are really nice team with really nice mechanics, and they are made for rookie riders. So I'm really good there, and I will not have problems if I have to rest there 2 years more, because it's like a family, and I'm one more of them. But you always want to be on a factory team. It's where all riders wants to go, and yeah, it's not good when some young rider wants to fight for the one victory, and he know that he can't, because maybe the bike is not the same, and maybe they have to give you the opportunity to do it. So I hope that some day they give to me the opportunity to test the bike, and they said, okay, maybe he is fast. We have to check. I have to still pushing to just have one official bike, and maybe in the future, I don't know.
Okay, Paul, probably best to get off this beach, because everyone's feet are burning.
Now we go on a beach, no?
Should we
to
go
make
for a swim?
some, yeah?
We're going to go for a swim, actually.
Okay, let's go.
So he might be missing the race.
That was a cool ending.
349.6 kilometers an hour, a number that recently made MotoGP history. Just over 2 weeks ago, Andrea Iannone managed to break the MotoGP speed record down the home straight in Mugello, putting himself in the history books, at least for now, that is. And that got us thinking about some of the numbers that makes MotoGP so special. So we've decided to bring you some more impressive facts from the world of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. But to do so, we're going to leave pit lane and head out onto track where the figures actually occur. Now here in Catalunya, they don't quite reach the speeds that they do in Mugello, but still a very impressive 340 kilometers an hour here in the home straight. And from about 300 meters, they have to brake down to under 100 kilometers an hour. Now what's very impressive is the force they have to put on the brake lever is up to 8 kilograms. Now to put that into perspective, that's like lifting 16 cans of big drink with just 1 or 2 fingers. Extremely difficult if you don't have big and very strong underarms. And it's obviously not just once they have to do this, it's every lap over a 25 lap race, if not more, and on multiple corners. Then there's the force on the rider. A G-force of 1.67 G, which means the rider feels over 1.5 times his body weight. So for instance, Andrea Iannone, who weighs 67 kilograms, will feel like 111 kilos. As an example, under braking, it will feel like he's wearing a rucksack weighing 44 kilograms. Now 44 kilograms amounts to about 88 big cans of drink. And bear in mind, they are holding on with just their hands and gripping the tank with their thigh. Much of the hard work is, however, done by the carbon discs and pads. Scrubbing off over 240 kilometers an hour in a matter of seconds sees the discs reach temperatures of up to 800 degrees Celsius. Now here in Catalunya in the daytime, you can't quite see it on the disc, but we're going to show you some shots of Qatar where you see the fantastic orange glow on the discs. And once again, to put this into perspective, lava coming out of a volcano starts at around 700 degrees C, so 100 less than the carbon discs. Finally, we move on to the tyres. Turn 3 here in Catalunya is a good place for that because it gives the hottest tyre temperatures on the right-hand side of the rear Bridgestone tyre. Phillip Island does it for the left, Catalunya Turn 3 for the right. And Bridgestone tells us that the tyres reach in excess of over 110 degrees Celsius, and that is at a mid-corner speed at its slowest at 130 kilometers an hour. So not only does the tyre have to operate at over the boiling point of water, it also has to do so for a full 25 laps whilst giving the riders maximum grip. And whilst the actual stickiness of the rubber keeps the riders firmly planted to the ground, the contact patch, the area of the tyre touching the ground, is no bigger than the size of a credit card or this MotoGP pass. And that's the case for both the front and rear wheel. So bear in mind, over 260 horsepower is being transmitted to the ground through only this tiny little area on the ground. Come race day here in Barcelona, unfortunately the talk wasn't so much about the bikes and riders, but more about the weather. They had promised rain for the race, but we were incredibly lucky. The dark clouds were hovering above us. They've turned up now for filming the show, but for the race they stayed away. The front runners all on the same tyre, so there wasn't much of a tyre war going on, but what a race it was. Valentino Rossi super strong from the off, leading the pack. Marc Marquez, Dani Pedrosa very aggressive as well. Jorge Lorenzo had been behind Valentino Rossi for a while, but got taken by the Repsol Honda guys. Alvaro Bautista, unfortunate problem with the bike, had to stop after 2 laps with a mechanical issue. Carl Crutchlow had a similar thing after 10 laps, but it was really the 4 guys at the front that gave us the show. Valentino Rossi leading for quite some time, with a bit of a battle raging on between the Repsol Honda bikes. Dani Pedrosa in particular looking very, very strong. Marc Marquez often getting the bike out of shape. Then they caught up with Valentino. Marc Marquez making the move up the inside, fighting with the Italian. Dani Pedrosa trying to stick in there as well, but Valentino Rossi fighting back. There was one incident where people thought maybe rain had occurred. Slight confusion there. Valentino Rossi being overtaken by Dani Pedrosa up the inside, then lifting their hands up. Everyone thought it was rain, but it turned out that it was just a yellow flag and they had to get back into the order. Jorge Lorenzo, during that incident, managed to catch up, but once again, once they got on the gas, Lorenzo couldn't quite keep up with the rest. But it was the end. The end was absolutely spectacular. Both Repsol Hondas managed to pass Valentino Rossi, and it was Marquez versus Pedrosa. Pedrosa arguably having one of the races of his life. Marquez looking out of shape on many occasions. Pedrosa pushing him so hard in the final lap, passing him numerous times, but then into the stadium section, just touched the rear wheel of Marc Marquez. Had to go wide. Marquez also lucky not to crash. Danny lucky not to crash. That let Valentino Rossi through, and ultimately it finished Marc Marquez 7 wins out of 7. Valentino Rossi though on the podium in second, Dani Pedrosa in third. Jorge Lorenzo a slight lonely fourth, and a very, very respectable 5th place for Stefan Bradl.
So 7 down, 11 to go in 2014, and someone just cooling down an engine by the sounds of it down here in the pit lane. Marc Marquez still indestructible and unbeatable in this 2014 season. Let's have a look at the championship standings then. 7 rounds in, Marquez now with a 58-point lead over Valentino Rossi, with Dani Pedrosa, Lorenzo and Dovizioso completing the top 5. Pol Espargaro now only 4 points in front of Aleix instead of 5. Andrea Iannone jumps up into 9th position on the Pramac Ducati. So there we are then, 7 races down in 2014, and next time we're off to the last Saturday in June, the Dutch TT. Tradition then to race there on the Saturday instead of the Sunday, and who knows, perhaps weather a bit like this. See you at Aston.